again a review article based on the research of David Reich and other major scientists. And this research is known as Geographical Origin of Ethnic Groups in Indian Subcontinent, exploring the ancient footprints with wide area haplogroups. Now a term haplogroup came up here. This is a biological term. And since the time of human beings came out of Africa, a certain sort of short tandem repeats or mutations that carry over on our Y chromosome passes from one generation to other generation unchanged. By 1,000 years, by 2,000 years, one of it get changed and mutated and again carried by their generation. This is how they created a whole phylogenetic tree of a human species. So when they see and when they studied around 5,000 samples from a different population all across India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, from geographically diverse, phenotypically diverse, what interesting finding they came up that no of the caste or the community represent a single haplogroup, that means a single paternal line. They all are a admixture coming up from different lines. That seems that communities and a caste come up by people using common occupations. That also a point of archaeologists and historians before. And they start living in a certain groups, and then these groups evolve up as a communities and a caste. So this seems to again prove the point that this admixture happened before, and it was due to this admixture before the evolution of the caste system. This is where the South Asian genetic pool exchange, and this same applicable to every part of the world. Why we are talking about South Asian? Because this is our title today. So it's not going on in Europe, it was going on in Central Asia, it was going on in West Asia. Every places this phenomena was going on. And the last quote note of that researcher, David, used to quote like this: "This results show that every ethnic group in the data set has a members belong to more than one haplogroup, indicating multiple lines of ancestry and geographical region. Even their potentially different languages, religions, nationalities, custom and cuisines and physical difference of different ethnic groups who belong to the same haplogroups were genetically related and having the same ancient MRCA. MRCA is a term used for most recent common ancestors. Most recent common ancestors doesn't mean 100 years, 200 years. It means in genetics like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years. And geographical origins from distant past. So this is the beauty of what recent genetic research give us an idea how the humanity evolved and how it evolved in our part of the world. But unfortunately, if we take a chauvinism to certain part or certain caste to certain community, definitely this is a wrong side to look these research. And just ending my point here for the open questions, if you have any. If anybody say now, please tell me who is Aryans in India. Definitely you cannot find who is Aryan in India, because these are the ancient labels, or Yamnaya people came up with the different gradients, they mixed with the different races and different communities. Sorry for using the term race. Different communities, different castes, different people. So we all, if you go for the genetic test, recently it is available, data is available. You can go to any company and you can just order a simple buccal mucosa test and you can do your own DNA test. It's possible if you have any query for understanding your own admixtures. So you will see that Aryan proportions or Yamnaya people proportion is present in every Indian. In the same way, the Indus Valley proportion is present in every Indian, and that's labeled as more in our South Indian brothers rather than in North Indians, but its huge chunk is present. In the same way, even the first founders, Eastern Iranian hunter-gatherers or Eastern Iranian proportion is present in a larger extent in all South Asian population, even present in the Iranian population. To some extent, this is present in the Middle Eastern population also in a less percentages. So this is a way how the humanity has been evolved. So if you go by the lens and see who is Aryan, who is a non-Aryan, you cannot check in this case. But definitely all these historical populations or the genetic admixtures that make up by the time has a huge impact. Languages were evolved, cultures were evolved. Definitely Yamnaya people were responsible for the formation of a Vedic civilization, and this Vedic civilization then flourished. So when we talk about the migrants, the first migrants who came of 50,000 years before, ancient ancestral South Indian, what they labeled, in the same way the last migrant was Aryans. Then people will say that there are many waves of migrations, Huns, Scythians, Greeks, Arabs, Mughals, and all these. Now geneticists say that all these migrations that happens afterward make a huge impact on our societies, on our cultures, on our architecture, on our food. But unfortunately, or fortunately, what we can say, on our genetic admixture, they make impact, but not to the level what these three ancient sources have made impact on our Indian Indian or South Asian population. This is a point actually. Now, if you have any questions, please.